What's up, guys? Roger Molina here. I am making a graduated bob stop motion video, and I'm filming it at the same time. And so we're landing on this new kind of invention of stop motion video. Don't even know what this is. It's sick though, and it's cool. It's going to give us a breakdown in a unique way on how to build graduation in a bob. So you start with the vertical section that runs the nape area. You're going to do pivoting partings that come off of that high point of the nape, and I'm building a diagonal or 45-degree elevation. Everything will be over directed to the previous. There's my detection of the guideline underneath, that little cone tap. And I am cutting palm to palm in this position. That means that my palms are facing one another. It's old school, right? The original Vidal practice of building these kind of wedges and shapes. And thing I'm adding here, I'm going to talk about, is combing like it's a bridge. Like when a bridge drops, one side drops down and the other side, is a stationary pivoting point. So my comb is in my right hand and it becomes like my bridge, and everything drops from there. When I comb down to my hand, let me show you the side view, like that. So I'm rotating off of my comb hand and it's dropping down like a bridge door, boop, and it gives me way more consistent draw and elevation detection, over direction detection. If I can get used to my hand being like a rotator instead of me moving my whole arm, it becomes a lot more key, especially in these tight corners. On a graduated bob, you're right up against the nape here. You know what I mean? So it's tight in there. And this one's rather long, but sometimes they're even shorter than this. So that tight area, you need to be able to work in and out. And then on this area right here, you're going to cross-check this. I work diagonal forward, so I'm going to cross-check diagonal back, but elevate it to the same elevation. Check your consistency. And I'm going to do something here I don't want you to do, but it was for the video's sake of the stop motion. But I'm going to explain it as it happens. So in the stop motion, I put my comb against there, boop, and then the next frame, all this hair is gone. I'm cutting this with a no thumb technique, which means that I'm taking the blade over the top by holding it kind of backwards in my hand, which there's other videos out there explaining this, especially on Sam Via's channel. I made a bunch of this stuff for him, but Hugo Urias taught me that originally, so shout out Hugo, best hair cutters out there, one of them. Then as I move to this left side and push it back, you're going to observe and probably want to immediately go, bro, your body position's off. Amen. Yeah, I'm not standing in the right spot right there. I've pushed myself off to the left so that I can film myself and show you this. But you see how I have that little fluff left at the bottom? That's the stuff I'm leaving over. I'm sort of having to fill in the blank on this graduation because I've cut the fluff off. Now it can be done. You've just seen me doing it right now. You can do it. But if you're just getting started with this, or if there's something that you're like, learning, leave all that stuff at the bottom until the very end, because I'm building my graduation with like a ghost. That spot that's in my finger right there, I'm making that angle up because it's going to be gone, right? It's been cut away already. So leave the fluff at the bottom, and it almost looks consistent right now, but it's not. I have cut, you'll see all the long fluff left down there. Now I got to come back and cut that stuff off. And before I move on, I got other videos out there that talk about building like a bob, like a house, and that this bottom part is like the concrete or the foundation. And before I can move on and build the rest of my house, I gotta make sure my foundation is aligned in what I want exactly. So do I have the right amount of like triangularity, or the right amount of roundness, or this degree that I have on the back doesn't match. You can see it. See that point in the right corner there? That's an over degree, meaning I elevated it too far back, over directed it too far back. And so it ended up with a long corner. And so I got to fix that before I move on. And you'll see me spend some time on this, guys. Like really, even though I was trying to explain it to the camera, even though I wasn't filming audio. Spend some time on fixing that bottom stuff before you move on. If your house had a crooked concrete and you just started building your walls, you'd be crazy, right? So don't do that. So now, because I have these areas separated into their own little regions, I know that this is not a pivoting section anymore. This is now just a straight diagonal forward section. Still cutting palm to palm, still elevating 45 degrees off of the plane in which that hair lives. So each time it should be coming up to like a similar degree, 45 degrees. and you're working casting when you take a section from the inside to the out. So I'm standing at the back and pushing forward like that. That gives me more consistency. If I'm going to where the ear starts and then coming back uphill, it's gonna change how my body position is, the mechanics of it is. I have to sort of step around the corner to do it. So whenever you can, guys, and whether you're a veteran at Bob's or you're brand new at Bob's, whenever you can, do the same thing. Whenever you can, like, do the same thing that you just did, and you'll end up with more of the same thing. If I comb from the inside to the out, if I comb like a bridge right there where I'm drawing down to my hand, if I keep my left hand or my hair holding hand in the position that I need it to be in and comb to it, there's all kinds of things that I can do to create consistency. And this gets me in a mode of what I call autofocus, not autopilot. Autofocus means you're doing the thing without really necessarily needing to think about it, because you're doing the same actions over and over. And there's a lot of medicine in this, guys, like medicine in the body. People will say things like flow state. I can enter into this realm where I'm just like totally focused, totally lasered in. And the more you can do that, honestly, wandering around like a sculptor. But if you can get your body in a position where it's more stable to where you can just do the thing mechanically instead of having to do it intuitively, you'll be better. You'll be better hair cutter and you'll be better focused. What I mean about autofocus is it's like a camera on your phone, right? And everything, whenever anything gets out of position, it autofocuses it, autofixes it. Right now, I'm standing off to the left side and I'm doing it in the wrong body position. You can't see my air quotes, but I'm doing it in the wrong body position here so I can show you the elevation that those sections are coming back. This is the right body position. And something that maybe nobody's ever told you, because it was something I never heard, was the importance of body mechanics to set you in that autofocus mode. Like if you're doing something that repeats over and over again, it's medicinal, like for the body, because it's easier on the body, but it also helps the mind, the satisfaction of that kind of stuff, for you to be able to enter a flow state. Like when I say flow state, I mean something where your subconscious has taken over your conscious mind and you're just doing something that you know, right? And when you do that, you tap into like this other level of intelligence, like they call it the natural intelligence. It's this position where your body can do what it knows to do, right? And in that state, a lot of times, if you're staying in that position with a client and you're staying engaged, your body's taking care of itself, the haircut's taking care of itself, so you can stay locked into what they're saying, what they're doing, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. This is the bigger purpose of the hairdresser. I rewound this to show you I went into autopilot. That's my thumb moving, you see it? Then I quickly grab it again and take it right back down and cut it with a different angle so my blade's coming over the top. If I began cutting palm to palm, I want to finish cutting palm to palm. And each section that I throw in there and switch my scissor angle or my blade hit it from a different way, that one section will act just slightly different. So just monitor it. You're the only one that knows. And it'll probably take you a while before you believe it if this is something you're just hearing. So I give you grace. It took me 2 years to accept it as a truth. Thank you, Louis Lacayo. So I continue on with that same pattern. I'm diagonally directing it back. I have been over directing to previous until I get to right here. Then it becomes a stationary guide. Like, when do you transition to the stationary guide? Great question. The flat side. So once the hair crosses over into the stuff that lives on a flat plane, I'm going to transition into a stationary guide there. And that creates roundness by over directing to one piece, because it creates a buildup of weight on the head that's really flat and square. So a lot of times when you end up with like the dog ear where it just kind of hangs and fluffs off gnarly there at the bottom, you either went too much hair, which I tried to do right there, or you change your elevation, you change your over direction. A lot of times if you get an inconsistency in this stationary guide, meaning like I move it, every third or fourth section it moves a little bit, it'll just kind of hang weird. So you got to be very consistent with that stationary guide once you transition into the back of the ear and get to the flat side. So this is again a same exact approach. I've stopped at that point where it hits the flat side right there. Pretty soon I'll recognize that there's dust on my shirt. Get it, Raj, you can do it. And if I take that same exact approach, I will get the same exact result on the right and left side. Being consistent, this is the stationary guide moment. It over directs the previous back there behind the ear. So this one section kind of has half. You over direct to previous where it's round, and then you go to a stationary guide where it is square or flat on the side. So now this one overlaps both, so I can just go to stationary guide the whole time. You notice that my hand does not move. I just pull it down to that area and lock it. Keeping your hand holding or your hair holding hand, so in this case, it's my left hand. You see how I draw it down to it, I lock it there, and then I comb to it. This is important. Putting your hand, your left hand, into a position where the angle's reading right, and then combing the hair into it makes you way more locked in. So try doing that. Left hand locked and comb to it. Much like the bottom, once you're done, you want to cross-check it and just check your consistency. These are now like with the walls. So because I have a diagonal forward line, I'm going to go back with a diagonal back line to cross-check it. I'll turn it a little bit. Wobbly, bobbly head, here it comes. You got it, Raj. There it is. You're welcome. That is a nice angle. That's what I'm looking for on the right side. So just to maintain consistency, which is my word that I'm saying too much today, I do it twice, and also 2 times on this opposite side, just to make sure that everything's being held the right way. Now my walls are built, and it's time to start building my roof. Roof. You're gonna do everything the exact same way. Diagonal forward line, 1/8 to 1/4 inch partings. Be consistent with what you chose before. You're gonna direct down, and now that you're at a stationary guide, once you round up to the top of the head here, you're going to likely just be doing the same thing over and over and over again. This is an easy point to kind of autopilot and log out of autofocus. So stay present and keep drawing to those pieces. My first section, when I first draw it down, I bring it down with the wide teeth for easy combing so nothing tangles. So you'll see me flip the comb and go back and forth between the two, take it out with the wide, boop. Then when I'm refining, bring it down with the finer teeth. You'll remember that by refine with finer. And as you work through this right side, it becomes natural to go back to palm. And I know it seems like I'm just kind of beating this up, but if there was a race between, elevation, over direction, or blade angle being the thing that creates an inconsistent result, they're pretty much even. So elevation's important, over direction's important, but the blade angle that it smacks the section at is just as important. An even, consistent moisture so that everything stretches the same. Now I'm going down and around and over a plane, much more opportunity for that hair to stretch. And plus, the longer it gets, the more stretch capability it has. Like if I had a 1-inch hair and it stretched 20% of itself, I got fractions of an inch. But if I got 20-inch hair and I stretch it over itself, I got inches worth of stretch. So being mindful of that is a key element. Keep it wet, keep it consistent. And again, using that continuous spray mist is going to be a lock-in for you. So check that one out if you get a chance on Samvia. Right here, as we're getting toward this top stuff, everything kind of staying consistent, but the opportunity arises now on the left side to flip your scissor easy. Right there, it's way more easy to just have the blade be coming from the bottom because your scissor is more comfortably rested with the thumb moving. So I'm doing this motion again, and I'll explain it here even again, where I'm pinching the thumb and pointer finger on the crane handle of it. So my scissor is essentially upside down, and my thumb hole is being moved by my middle finger. You can see it there. That's a good example of it. The thing that makes this important is that you clinch your thumb and pointer finger onto the scissor and really hold it tight so that it does not drop. Some final thoughts are, consistency when it comes to elevation, consistency when it comes to sectioning, making sure that you're keeping the same diagonal, you're keeping the same size of section, so I'm not jumping from 1/8 to 1/4 and back again. Also maintaining a blade, striking a consistent side. So if I'm going palm to palm, stay that way. This is the finished result of the stop motion that I ended up with. It was about a 3.5 minute video compared to a 15-minute one that we landed on. So it moves much quicker. All these angles and everything, they build into a way, and I'm working on developing visuals that are even deeper than this. So more to come. Thanks for watching this. Go to samvia.com and get locked into some of the sales and deals and things that are coming out. And there's a lot of new stuff that's coming in 26 and 27, which will absolutely, I think, blow the industry open. And I am not exaggerating. And as this kind of wraps up, we're going to show you the finished result of the haircut itself right there, but it takes a whole lot of people to make this happen, and I'm very proud to be on this team of talented individuals. Here's your tools. Big shout out Sam Villa. So proud of you, bro, and we'll see you soon.